Our interview this morning is with Sonia, who will be speaking with Richard about her work as a Church of Ireland chaplain in the Royal Victoria Hospital and in Musgrave Park Hospital. Over to Richard.
Hi, St. Paul's. So I'm delighted for this week's interview to be joined by Sona. Hi, Sona.
Hello, Richard. How are you?
I am good, thank you, and thank you so much for taking this time to share a little bit of your story with us today. So maybe we could just start, if you could just tell us a little bit about your job.
Well, I'm the Church of Ireland chaplain here in an acute hospital, and I've been working in the RVH for over 12 years. I am there to support both patients and staff with all the stresses and strains and worries that comes with healthcare. I visit all Church of Ireland patients whose name appear on a computer list every morning. I also visit those who have been referred by parish clergy. I spend time with patients and ask them how they are, and I listen to them. They have the opportunity to share their hopes and fears and commit all to prayer and leave all in the Lord's hands.
Wow, I'm sure things have changed quite a lot for you then over the last year or so. I mean, how have things changed for you?
Well, definitely they have. The pandemic might be happening, but the work of the hospital continues. Now, however, there is a greater pressure on staff to attend to the needs of patients with the worry about COVID. The job has changed in that patients and staff are generally afraid of the virus and worry about simply being in hospital. This is because not only do they have the worry of their medical situation, but their concerns about the virus. They talk so much longer, and this is probably down to the fact that there are no visitors allowed, and many feel very, very alone. Hospital stays have changed too, so much in this short while, and patients are so glad to see the chaplain, as they have someone to talk to and to listen to, and they just want to talk to somebody during their hospital stay. And I hope and pray I have the time to always stay and listen to patients. On a practical level, I have to be ready to enter the building with mask and visor on wherever I go in the hospital. I visit COVID patients. I must wear full PPE. This can be very challenging, as staff can get very hot in the equipment for long periods of time. If the patient is able to talk a little, they often find it difficult to understand what I am saying because I'm wearing a visor and mask. It can feel quite strange and impersonal. A simple difference is the fact that the chaplain should not touch or hold patients' hands at the moment, but it is still ministry to the sick. And the patient often expresses their thankfulness for the comfort of prayer and my presence with them in very worrying circumstances.
Wow. Wow, I mean, that must be such a challenge for yourself. And
Indeed.
I mean, have you any particular, I mean, as you reflect about maybe some of the moments in your experiences with trying to do that over the last year or so, any particularly challenging or memorable moments that you've experienced?
Yes, there is really a great sadness for the isolation of home and any support network. Unfortunately, some patients become very ill, and they only have staff, including chaplains, to be there for them during the week. One memorable thing is that people continue and patients continue to recover and do get well. Not all patients die, but some, of course, do. Hospital care is continuing, and we all have to be thankful for the work of the hospitals. God's love is openly seen in the devotion and exhaustion of medical staff and nursing staff, and God's children know the benefit of this healing ministry.
Mm-hmm. Wow. And so you're talking about, God's love there. I mean, how has faith kind of, I suppose, sustained you as an individual, but also, what have you seen how faith has maybe helped some of your patients as well through this?
Yes, I have been called to hospital ministry, and I am there to be a presence and alongside God's children when they are ill or in trouble. I am so blessed to work in a denominational team who are so supportive and offer so much encouragement. We pray together and remember each other's worries and exhaustions.
Wow, I find it so. I really do find it so impactful hearing stories like this. And maybe just as a final question, I suppose, how can the St. Paul's family pray for you?
Well, St. Paul's has already helped me in my ministry, and I would like to thank the ladies of the parish for making handheld crosses for patients on the wards. I have already given so many crosses to patients, and they are delighted with such a special gift. I ask you to pray for all the chaplains in the acute hospitals and for all who minister to God's people at times of illness, especially during this pandemic. I pray also for your rector, Reverend Arthur, as he continues to visit, support, and care for all in St. Paul's. He is a remarkable man, and I know that if I ever need somebody to talk to, he's there to listen to me too, as I discovered this morning. Thank you.
Thank you so much. That's I didn't know that members of our parish were making those crosses. That's fantastic to hear. So
that's amazing.
I want to thank you for taking this time to share. Thank you for the amazing job that you do and for sharing these insights with us. And we just want to thank you for that. And hopefully we're able to bless you through this. And we will pray for you as you've asked. So, Sarah, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much, Richard. Thank you.
We want to thank Sonia, and we want to thank her for the work that she carries out. I want to pray for her role, which is so important in our hospitals at this time. We thank Sonia and Richard for that wonderful interview.